Hi students, this is Srinivas, Department of Botany. This video was shooted with cell phone camera, so I request you to use your earphones. Okay, thank you. In the previous class, I explained about microbes in the production of biogas. Today, in this class, I am going to explain about biocontrol agents, microbes as biofertilizers. One by one, I will explain. So first of all, biocontrol agents. What is that? Biocontrol agents. So the biological methods for controlling plant diseases and pests. So microbes are used to control plant diseases and pests. So microbes are used to control pathogens. Those are so-called biocontrol agents. See, this is the biocontrol agent. This is the controller. Control. These organisms are controlled by biocontrol agents. These organisms are controlled by biocontrol agents. Ladybird. Aphids. That means aphids are controlled by ladybird. Mosquitoes are controlled by dragonflies. Butterfly caterpillars are controlled by BT, that is full form Bacillus thuringiensis. Plant pathogens, that means control of plant diseases, controlled by Trichoderma. What is that? Trichoderma. Species specific, that means some species are specific for baculoviruses. So that means ladybird controls aphids, dragonflies controls mosquitoes, Bacillus thuringiensis controls butterfly caterpillars, Trichoderma controls plant diseases or plant pathogens. Baculoviruses control species specific. This is very important table, my dear students. Please follow this one. Please remember this one. And what are the some important points related to Trichoderma? It is a free living fungi. It is a free living fungi. Don't say symbiotic fungi. Trichoderma is a free living fungi but not symbiotic fungi. It belongs to class Deuteromycetes fungi. Which class? Deuteromycetes fungi. It is common in root ecosystem. That means this Trichoderma is present around the atmosphere of root. It is present around the atmosphere of root. Surrounding this root, this Trichoderma is present. So it is common in root ecosystem. Don't say shoot ecosystem. You have to say root ecosystem. It is common in root ecosystem. It is not shoot ecosystem. Belongs to class Deuteromycetes fungi. It produces a bioactive molecule called cyclosporin A. Which one? Cyclosporin A, which is useful for immunosuppressive agent. Immunosuppressive agent in organ transplant patients. Produces cyclosporin A, which acts as immunosuppressive agent in organ transplant patients. And what are the points related to baculoviruses? Baculoviruses means the viruses which attack insects and other arthropods. The viruses which attack insects and other arthropods are called baculoviruses. These baculoviruses contain genus called, two genus are there, NPV and CPV. What are those? NPV and CPV. Full forms. Nucleopolyhedrovirus. Nucleopolyhedrovirus. CPV. Cytoplasmic polyhedrovirus. So baculoviruses contain how many genera? Two genera. One is called NPV, second one is called CPV. This NPV is present in NCERT textbook. It is not present in our NCERT textbook. Next, it can control species specific. What is that? Species specific. Next, biopesticides or bioinsecticides. That means some plants are resistant to bioinsecticides. What are those? Biopesticides or bioinsecticide plants are Bt cotton. That is, Bt cotton is resistant to insects and pests. Like that, Bt brinjal. All these plants are resistant to insects and pests. Those are so called biopesticides, are also called bioinsecticides. So, what are those bioinsecticides or biopesticides plants? Bt cotton, Bt brinjal, Bt corn. Corn means that is maize. Next, Bt rice, Bt tomato, Bt potato, Bt soybean. So these 7 plants are bioinsecticides or biopesticides. Try to remember all these plants, my dear students. Those are very important. And next, IPM. What is the full form of IPM? Integrated Pest Management. What is that? Integrated Pest Management. It is useful for, what is the purpose of IPM? That is, beneficial insects are being conserved in IPM. IPM full form, Integrated Pest Management. What is its role? Beneficial insects, that is, useful insects are being conserved. That is so called Integrated Pest Management. So please note down all these points, my dear students. Now I am going to explain microbes as biofertilizers. Microbes as biofertilizers. In previous days, there are 3 types of fertilizers are used. What are the 3 types of fertilizers? Organic fertilizers, chemical or inorganic fertilizers, biofertilizers. 3 types of fertilizers are there. Latest one is biofertilizers. Inorganic fertilizers means using of chemicals. those chemical pesticides are used means environment becomes polluted. So it is not correct to using chemical pesticides. Why? Because environment becomes polluted day by day. And the latest technology is biofertilizers. Bio means life. Fertilizers means to enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. So the living organisms which are useful to enrich the nutrient quality of soil are called fertilizers. It can be done by microbes is called biofertilizers. So that means microorganisms are used to enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. That is so called biofertilizers. See, the organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of soil are called biofertilizers. Bio means life. Fertilizers means to increase the nutrient quality of soil. How many types of biofertilizers organisms are there means 3 types of organisms are used. That is bacteria, cyanobacteria, also called blue-green algae, and third one is fungi. Don't say virus. Viruses are not used as biofertilizers. So the main source of biofertilizers are bacteria, cyanobacteria and fungi. Don't say viruses. Viruses are not used as biofertilizers. Are you understanding, my dear students? Which organisms are used as biofertilizers? Bacteria, cyanobacteria and fungi. Don't say viruses. Right. What are the different types of bacteria are used? What are the different types of cyanobacteria are used? What is the fungi used? Symbiotic bacterium. Symbiotic bacterium. That means example rhizobium. That means rhizobium lives in the root nodules of legume plants. That is Fabaceae plants. This rhizobium can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Can fix atmospheric nitrogen. It can fix N2. Only symbiotic. When rhizobium is in free living state, it is unable to fix nitrogen. That point you have to remember, my dear students. Rhizobium can fix nitrogen only in symbiotic association, not in free living association. Rhizobium can fix nitrogen only in symbiotic association, not in free living association. Next one, free living bacteria. That means Azoospermillum, Azotobacter. They can fix O2, N2, but not CO2 because these two are non-photosynthetic, but they live as free living. Free living. So they can fix atmospheric nitrogen. They can fix atmospheric nitrogen in free living condition, not in symbiotic condition. Next one, cyanobacteria, also called blue-green algae. Blue-green algae. What are the examples of cyanobacteria? Nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria. These cyanobacteria contain chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll A means autotrophic. So that is autotrophic microbes are cyanobacteria. What are the examples? Nostoc, Anabaena, Oscillatoria. These 3 organisms can fix O2, N2, CO2. These organisms can fix N2 by the presence of nitrogenase in heterosis. That means these organisms have specialized cells called heterosis which contain nitrogenase enzyme. That's why these organisms are able to fix nitrogen by the presence of heterosis. Why CO2 means they have chlorophyll A which is similar to green plants. O2 means these are aerobic. So try to remember these two are can fix O2 and N2, but not CO2, because these are non-photosynthetic, but these are photosynthetic. Photosynthetic means autotrophic. So that is cyanobacteria are autotrophic microbes. Autotrophic means which can fix CO2. That is photosynthetic microbes. So these three organisms can fix oxygen, nitrogen, CO2. O2 means aerobic, N2 by heterosis, CO2 means chlorophyll A. Next, mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza, that is fungi. The fungi is in close association with roots of higher plants. Roots of higher plants. Myco means fungi. Rhizae means roots. The fungi is in association with roots of higher plants is called mycorrhiza. What is the genus called? Glomus. What is that? Glomus. This fungi, this mycorrhiza, not useful for absorption of nitrogen. It is useful for absorption of phosphorus. This point is very important, my dear students. Try to remember. All these organisms are useful to absorb nitrogen. But this is the only organism that is useful to absorb phosphorus. Useful to absorb phosphorus. Don't say nitrogen. All these organisms are useful to absorb nitrogen. But glomus, that is mycorrhiza, useful to absorb phosphorus from the soil. Useful to absorb phosphorus. Absorption of phosphorus from the soil. So it lives as symbiotic. So what type of organisms are used as biofertilizers? Or main source of biofertilizers means bacteria, cyanobacteria and fungi. Bacteria means symbiotic or they may be free living. Symbiotic example rhizobium. Free living bacteria example azoospermillum azotobacter. It is azotobacter, not acetobacter. Azotobacter is different from acetobacter. So this is cyanobacteria. Examples, three examples. Mycorrhiza example, glomus. Please note down all these points and come to this one. Individual I want to explain one by one. Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria also called blue-green algae. Cyanobacteria also called blue-green algae. Examples, nostoc, anabaena, oscillatoria. Useful for nitrogen fixation. Occurs by nitrogenase or dinitrogenase present in heterosis. They have chlorophyll A similar to green plants or higher plants. These are cyanobacteria are autotrophic microbes. Autotrophic means photosynthetic. These cyanobacteria live in water and on land. Live in water is called aquatic. Live on land is called terrestrial. So these are aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems. These are used as biofertilizer in paddy fields. That point you have to remember. So which one is used as biofertilizer in paddy fields means we have to say cyanobacteria. This is very important. And next point, it also adds organic matter to the soil and increase its fertility. So which organism adds organic matter to the soil and increase and enrich its fertility means we have to say cyanobacteria. So please remember all these points. And next one, mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza, also called VAM fungi, also called AM fungi. Mycorrhizae or AM fungi or VAM fungi. Right, VAM fungi means vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza fungi. V means vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhiza. Vesicular, arbuscular, mycorrhizal fungi. Also called AM fungi. That means all mycorrhiza produce arbuscules only. Some mycorrhiza do not produce vesicles. That's why mycorrhiza are also called AM fungi. What is their role in biofertilizers? What is the genus called? Glomus. This is very, very important. Genus called Glomus. The fungi is in association with the roots of higher plants or vascular plants is called mycorrhiza. Myco means fungi. Rhiza means roots. This is the only biofertilizer useful to absorb phosphorus from the soil, not nitrogen. Try to remember, my dear students. Useful for absorption of phosphorus from soil. It is useful to absorb phosphorus. Don't say nitrogen. Remaining organisms are useful to absorb nitrogen. Remaining organisms are useful to fix nitrogen. This is the only organism to absorb phosphorus from the soil, not from atmosphere. So, I am asking one question. Mycorrhiza are useful to absorb phosphorus from soil. True. Mycorrhiza are useful to absorb phosphorus from atmosphere. False. And what are the importance of these mycorrhiza? It is resistance to root-borne pathogens. Some pathogens will attack roots and cause diseases. If there is the presence of mycorrhiza means resistant to root-borne pathogens. Resistance to, tolerance to root-borne pathogens. Next, tolerance to salinity and drought conditions. Resistance to or tolerance to salinity and drought conditions. And the last property of mycorrhiza is overall increase in plant growth and development. Plant growth and development will be increased. Don't say decrease. So overall increase in plant growth and development. Overall increase. So these are the three properties of mycorrhiza. And these are the two properties of cyanobacteria. Try to remember all these points, my dear students, and please note down all these points. Rhizobium lives in the root nodules of legume plants. Inside the root nodules means we have to say endosymbiont. What is that? Endosymbiont. Within the cell, inside the cell means intracellular endosymbiont. See, rhizobium acts as intracellular endosymbiont in root nodules of legumes. Endosymbiont means inside. Intracellular means inside the cell. Intracellular means within the cell, inside the cell. That means this rhizobium is found in inner cortical cells or pericycle cells of root. That's why it is intracellular endosymbiont in root nodules of legumes. See this one, Anabaena. Intercellular endosymbiont. Inter means in between. So that means in between the cells, air cavities or intercellular space are present. In that air cavities, this anabaena is present. In which plant? Azolla. Which part? Leaves. So intercellular endosymbiont in cavity of Azolla leaves. In Azolla leaves, intercellular space or cavities are present. In those cavities, this anabaena is present. That means anabaena is present not inside the cell, between the cells, in the cavity, not in the cells. That's why it is so called intercellular endosymbiont. Some challenges posed by microbes. What are those? Super microbes. What are super microbes? Which microbes that have undergone mutations are called super microbes. Which mutate microbes are called super microbes. These super microbes are very much resistant to many drugs. Microbes which are resistant to many drugs. Today we are afraid of so many viruses. Present condition, that is, we are afraid of coronavirus. That means we are afraid of microbe, that is coronavirus. This is nothing but bioterrorism. Bio means life. That means we are afraid of these microbes. This is nothing but bioterrorism. That is one of the major threats to society is bioterrorism. Bio means life. So we are afraid of microbes, and these microbes may cause even death also. That is nothing but bioterrorism. I want to discuss some few points, that is recently emerged diseases. That means in olden days some diseases are there, later those are not there, and later those diseases will reappear. Those are so re-emerged, like that. Recently emerged. That means new diseases. Recently emerged means new diseases. What are those? AIDS, full form acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Second one, SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. Mad cow disease, which was caused by prions. Prions means with the infectious agents which have only protein code and no nucleic acid. And next, re-emerging diseases. Re-emerging, that means in olden days those diseases are there, later those are gone, and finally presently those diseases are re-emerged. Those are so called re-emerged, reappeared diseases. What are there? Cholera, TB, dengue fever. TB means tuberculosis. So try to remember these points, my dear students. These are recently emerged diseases. Emerged diseases are AIDS, SARS, mad cow disease. Mad cow disease. This is nothing but re-emerging diseases. Cholera, TB, dengue fever. Here a branch is called genomics. What is that? Genomics. That is computer based study and designing of genome. That means this genome should be designed based on computer study. What is that genome? One haploid set of chromosomes is called genome. See, genome, computer based study and designing of genome. That means genome should be designed based on computer study. What is genome? One haploid set of chromosomes is called genome. Genome refers to haploid set of chromosomes. And I want to recall all the words with bio. See this one. bioinformatics. That means to increase our knowledge in biology, to increase our knowledge in biology, we may use application sciences. That is, we may use information sciences. What are the different types of information sciences? Mathematics, statistics, and third one, computer science. By using these different sciences, we may increase the knowledge in biology. That is so called bioinformatics. The application of the use of information sciences to increase our understanding of biology is called bioinformatics. Information sciences include what type of branches? Mathematics, statistics, computer science. Next, bioremediation. Bio means life. Remediation means removal. Removal of environmental pollutants by microbes and plants. That is the process of using microbes and plants to break down or recycle the environmental pollutants is called bioremediation. Next one, bioterrorism. Bio means life. That means we are so much fear about microbes. They may be the bacteria or viruses. Those diseases may spread from one person to another person. Sometimes these microbes may cause even death also in large population. Presently, coronavirus is there. We are so much afraid of this coronavirus. The disease may spread from one person to another person very easily. This is nothing but bioterrorism. That means actual use of or threat to use the biological agents in order to spread fear or conflict, disease and death upon large populations. Next one, biopiracy. What is that? Biopiracy. Some bioresources are there. If bioresources are there or some bioresources are discovered, we have to take permissions from that particular government. We have to take authorization from particular government and then we may use. Without proper authorization, without paying some amount, we don't use. So, illegal use of bioresources. What is that? Illegal. That is without payment, without proper authorization. We are using that bioresources. That type of branch is so called biopiracy. Illegal use, not legal. It is illegal use of bioresources is called biopiracy. Or in other words, use of bioresources by multinational companies and other organizations without proper authorization from countries and people. Some bioresources are there means we have to take proper authorization from that government. We have to pay some payment to that particular government. So, illegal use of bioresources is called biopiracy. And next one, biopatent. Right granted for biological entities. Right granted for biological entities. That is biological substances. That is nothing but biopatent. My dear students, please note down all these points. What are bioreactors? These are large vessels in which raw materials are converted into specific products. Large vessels which are used for biological conversion of raw materials into specific products. Next one, biofortification. That means development of croplands which are having improved nutritional quality. That means proteins will be higher, vitamins may be higher, minerals may be higher, and healthier fats. That means mineral content, vitamin content, protein content, healthier fats will be higher. So that is biofortification. Development of crop plants which are having improved nutritional quality is called biofortification. Next, biosensors. Biosensors, the DNA components of bacteria which can detect biologically active toxic pollutants. So the DNA components of bacteria are there. Those are useful to detect biologically active toxic pollutants. That is so called biosensors. The DNA components of bacteria which can detect biologically active toxic pollutants is called biosensors. Next, biomining. What is that? Biomining. Microbes are used in extracting valuable metals like uranium from rocks. In some rocks, valuable metals like uranium is present. To extract those valuable metals like uranium, microbes are used. That process is so called biomining. Microbes are used, microbes are used in extracting valuable metals like uranium from rocks. This is about biomining. Next, see this side, these points. Biopesticides. Biopesticides, the commercial production of microorganisms by use of which insects, termites or nematode pests are killed or their level is minimized, thereby increasing the crop yield. Those are so called biopesticides. What are the different types of biopesticides? That is BT cotton, BT brinjal, BT tomato, BT potato, BT soybean, BT corn, BT rice. Those are the different types of biopesticides. What is bacteriization? What is that? Bacteriization, the technique of seed dressing with bacteria. That means seeds are encapsulated with bacteria. Seeds are covered with bacteria. Seeds are dressed with bacteria. That process is called bacteriization. Examples which bacteria are used as bacteriization means Rhizobium, Azospirillum, Azotobacter. Next, another one, alkalization, the process of using blue-green algae in field as biofertilizer. That means in biofertilizer, blue-green algae are used. What are they? Nostoc, Anabena, Oscillatoria. Those are used as biofertilizer. Using of blue-green algae as biofertilizers is so called alkalization. The term alkalization was coined by Venkataraman. Who is that? Venkataraman. The term alkalization was coined by Venkataraman. Next, I want to discuss the terms with super. Super microbes, super weeds. What are super microbes? The microbes which are resistant to many drugs. The microbes which are resistant to many drugs are so called super microbes. And what are super weeds? The weeds which are resistant to weedicides. Some weedicides are sprayed. so that weeds will be killed. So that means the weeds which are resistant to weedicides are so called super weeds. These super weeds are fast growing than the other crops. Super weeds are fast growing than the other crops. So what are super weeds? Which are resistant to weedicides. What are super microbes? Which are resistant to drugs, are called super microbes. Thank you watching this video, and we will meet in the next class. Please note down all these points.